Hey, lady, you look busy with your new chemistry set.
Kind of. So we're getting ready to bottle our Rosehip wine, and what you have to do is actually sanitize the jars first, because we clean them, but then they sit. So this is our wine bottle cleaner, sanitizer, and so the stuff that's in there, I poured it in already. I shake it up, boom, then I transfer it to this one, because it's reusable. So, but I'll do a couple of these bottles, and then we're getting ready to start bottling and see how many we end up with. What do you think it's going to be?
I'm between 5 and 6.
Really? Doesn't look like that much to me.
I know. We'll see.
But we'll find out. So yeah, so this is the first process. So as we go along, we'll kind of do some more of the processes so you can see what we do, how we do it. All right. Cheers. See you in a minute. Bye.
Next step in the Rosehip wine, I have it in the gallon jugs, and well, we made a little bit more, so there's 2. Kim sanitized. We're gonna start the process, and it's actually, this little thing is actually really cool. So when it goes into the bottle, this thing goes in like this, releases the wine, and then all I have to do is lift it, and it plugs it up, so that I don't overfill and get wine all over creation. So we're gonna stop it because
I have to help.
Kim has to help.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Kim has successfully helped. So if you look down here, we're actually filling it up. And I got another bottle ready. And basically this is what we do. So normally I do like 5 gallons of wine, and we wind up making 30 bottles. So this is a longer process, but we won't be taking long.
How do you keep it from spilling over right now?
See? Stops. Goes. Stops.
Right, and then how much headroom do you usually leave in the top?
So I've never been able to like successfully figure out how to leave it at the bottom, so I do that little cheating method right there.
That's cool. So it just activates it.
Yep.
All right, so we'll keep the process going. And,
yeah, because Kim's got to get off the camera. She's got work to do. She's got a cork here.
Well, we'll cork together. All right, see you, bye.
All right, folks. I called 5 or 6 bottles. We came out with 6, and then I saved a little bit, so Kim and I will try it again. There's just, just a little bit in there. But now we're going to cork it, and it's going to sit till spring, just to let it mature and age and kind of mellow out. But, I mean, this has been a multi-step process. I think we already put a video out on the making of the Rosehip wine when we, picked 5 pounds of rose hips.
Yeah, and got all the little seeds out.
So I picked 5 pounds of rose hips, and then we froze them because the freezing breaks them down. Put them in a blender, and as Kim says, wazzed them up in the blender. Put them in that tent in front of the stove because it's the only real consistent heat in the house.
The wood stove.
Yeah, the wood stove, sorry. And then had to strain it off and get all the junk out of there.
So how long did it sit at the wood stove?
About 2 weeks till it was done fermenting.
Felt like longer.
I did it, and then I racked it off, so there was a lot of sediment in there from 5 pounds of rosehip. So I racked it off, put it back in front of the wood stove just to make sure that the yeast was done. There's been times in the past where we've had stuff fermenting, whether it was beer or wine, and it kind of bubbled over, so I didn't want that issue. Actually, one time when we were living in Pennsylvania, I bottled something, and I used these rubber corks. We'll never use rubber corks again. And we made a wine cellar, so they were sitting horizontally, and the corks shot out and hit the washer and dryer that was in the basement. There was wine everywhere.
15 feet away.
Yeah, it was red wine, so it looked like a crime scene. So yeah. I wasn't willing to let that happen again.
No.
So I let things sit probably a little bit longer than I need to.
Yeah.
But now we have 6 bottles of wine. That we will
taste that little thing right there. That's some of the end of it, just to see what it's like. Is it sweet, sugary?
It's not sweet. So the dandelion wine was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
This is a little sweet. I can't kind of find the flavor. A little fruity, but not super like emery wine fruity.
Oh, okay. Copy.
But it's actually, I would drink this with dinner rather than the dandelion wine I would only drink by itself. So.
Right. Yep. Can't wait to try it.
Yep.
All right. So corking is next. All right. See you in a second. Bye. All right. So we're back. Last part of the process. I think everybody may have seen me cork before. This is super easy. I got this for Katrina one birthday or Christmas or something.
It was a birthday present.
because we used to do it by hand and that was just a shit show. So bottles in, corks in. This little thing will come down, and here, kind of zoom in and show what it does here. No, right here, right here. So this squeezes the cork in there, and then as I push down, oh my goodness, the cork will go in.
You actually saw the cork go in down the bottom.
And then this is on a little pressure plate. And so that's what we want it to look like, flat like that. Has a little bit of an edge to it, but that's gonna be fine. So, super easy corker. Again, just push the pressure plate down, line her up.
So when we originally got my winemaking stuff, they had this like awful hand one that was awful. You do like, by the time you figure it out, you corked like a bottle of wine a day.
Right, and Keystone Homebrew actually used to have these that you could borrow the corker. Like
Yeah,
you just had to sign up for it, and
you just had to take it and return it in the same day.
right.
But
it was a nice luxury to have from Keystone Homebrew. So shout out to Keystone Homebrew. We're actually using some of your corks right now. Do a little advertising. Keystone Homebrew, Pennsylvania, obviously. But this is a cool hobby, you know, that we started years ago. Obviously, everybody knows with the beer grain dog biscuits. That's how Brewskits was invented, because Katrina wanted to make beer. And then that led
sometimes wine takes too long.
yes. Then that led to the wine. We dabbled with hard cider a little bit.
I sucked at that.
Not successful with that. It was horrible.
It didn't taste good, and I couldn't get it to carbonate again.
Right.
So.
But she also makes limoncello, orangecello, all kinds of fun stuff. We actually bought a still recently.
You know, for distilling essential oils and water.
But of course. So it's just super cool to be able to do this kind of stuff on the homestead, and again, make our own stuff. All the Rosehips came from
all around here.
Our property, Forest Service property, or whatever. And the dandelions, when we did dandelion wine. So it's fun. It's just fun to be able to make this kind of stuff. Okay, I guess that'll wrap it up. We ended up with 6. Let it sit and ferment. And
we'll save one for Jody, because Jody said she loves Rosehip.
Yes,
so we'll have
absolutely. Jody down the Cowpoke.
Yep, she wants her Rosehip.
Wants her Rosehip wine. So, and we made Rosehip jam this year too. Or
marmalade. Yeah, last year.
Last year, that's right. Which turned out really good as well. All right, guess that's it from the homestead. Cheers, everybody. We'll look forward to this in a couple months and maybe do an update at that point. All right, bye from the homestead.